Hello, fourth graders. It is time for lesson 5.12. 5.12 is going to take us a little further into symmetry. Before we talk about that word, let's see, how many of these pictures can you figure out? All right, what'd you say? We got a ladybug here. This is a monarch butterfly. Hey, monarch butterfly. This is half of a bee and half of a, looks like a grasshopper. I guess if you said praying mantis, I'd say grasshopper, right? The reason that we could figure these out is because all of these living creatures have a line of symmetry. So let's get into symmetry and what that means. When we say symmetry, we're talking about shapes that if we split them, then they would fold and match on the other side. Okay, so for example, we could take this heart, and if we cut this heart right through here, like this is a line of symmetry, right? It's a line of symmetry because if we brought this right-hand side and folded it over, it would match exactly, okay? What about this line right here? Is that a line of symmetry? Why or why not? Okay, that is not a line of symmetry. Think about if you folded this top part down here. Would they exactly match? No, right? This point would be way up here, and this part would be here. So this shape, this heart, has one line of symmetry. And as what we can do on this, our kind of new learning here today, is we can pick any point on this. Let's say we go right here. Okay. And then if we measure this distance to the line of symmetry, that distance is going to be the same on the other side. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, let's say, we measured from here to here, and that was 2 inches. Well, then the same thing is true on the other side. From there to there would also be 2 inches. Remember that objects can have more than one line of symmetry. This object has more than one line of symmetry, but honestly, it's the one that people kind of forget the most. How many lines of symmetry do you see on this rectangle? And here's a hint. The answer is not 4. This has 2 lines of symmetry. Okay, we could fold it right here. Let's see if I can get that right in the middle. Oh, pretty good. Or we could fold it on this horizontal line of symmetry. Remember the word horizontal? That was a vocabulary word, right? Where going sideways. This one is vertical. The diagonal line does not work, right? So if we folded it here, then this corner, remember what we were just saying. If we measure from here to here, well, then that should be the same distance on the other side, but that corner is nowhere near there. Okay, so the rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry. All right, let's get in a little bit more to a little bit more complex things with lines of symmetry. All right, I gave you a link to this kite. If you can print it out, that's great, right? If you have a printer. If you don't have a printer, that's fine, right? But I'd like for you to grab a piece of paper or a dry erase board. And you don't have to make it look exactly like this, and you don't have to have this many points or in these exact positions. But I'd like for you to kind of draw half of a kite and then put some points in there. Okay, and then we're going to connect those, right? So meaning like take a straight edge and connect your points. So you're going to draw a straight line, right? Use a ruler or a straight edge from here to here. Let's make that a solid line, actually. From here to here, and then B to C. And like I said, if you're doing your own, it doesn't matter. Your A and B and C don't have to be in these exact same spots. They can really be anywhere. But take a moment and work on that kite. All right, why are we drawing a kite? Well, if we look at this kite, right, we could then fold along this line. And I guess you won't really be able to fold a dry erase board if you did it there, but you can draw a line of symmetry. And then if we were to then cut this out, and if you're able to print this, that would be the best thing to do. Okay. Or if you did on a separate sheet of paper, you could cut it out and you would end up with a kite. Okay. And your kite's going to look like, let's see, it's going to look like this. Now, yours might not be exactly, the points might not be in exactly the same place. Okay. So our goal here and what we're working on is being able to draw symmetrical figures, right? When we studied symmetry in the past, we looked at figuring out how many lines of symmetry there are. Today, we're talking about drawing a symmetrical figure, okay? And so when we do that, the key thing to realize is what I was talking about before. If you are looking at distance here, okay, this distance that is from point, we'll start at maybe point B. Point B to the middle line is the same distance as the other side to the middle line. See that? Those measurements, maybe we'll call them 5 centimeters, right? They're less than that probably on your paper, but those would be the same. So when you're thinking about how to draw a symmetrical object, that's what you want to do. So let's just do one. Let's experiment here for fun. Okay, we're going to draw a line of symmetry. Dry erase board here is fine, or a piece of paper. And let's draw like a shape. Oh, how about we'll draw a weird looking shape like this. All right, yours doesn't have to look exactly like that. Take a moment, draw a shape, draw half of a shape. Okay, now, in order to figure out, because if we just kind of guess over here, right, like, oh, nope, that's not going to work, right? That's not symmetrical. So one thing that we can do to help that is to look at distances on the, from what we drew to the line of symmetry. Let's go with a solid line here, right? So if I say, okay, well, right there, and if I then measure that, well, that's going to be the same distance away on this side. So watch this, right? I'm going to make this the same distance. So I know when I start drawing mine, I'm going to start like this and go up to there. Hey, look at that. And then I can do the same thing on the other parts, kind of measure. You could use a ruler if you would like to. We're going to measure from here to here because that is going to be the same as on the other side. Like right there to right there. So I know that I'm going to need to bring my, let's see if I can start it at the same point. I need to go out farther, right? And then bring it in to that point. Oh, I missed. See how that's pretty close? It's not perfect, right? Because I don't have a ruler that's right here that I can quite use. And we're just drawing. So I don't expect you to be perfect. But try that. Try to draw the exact shape on the other side. Ooh, I got pretty close. All right, you try it. Try to draw a symmetrical figure. All right, let's take a look then now at our math journal, right? So when we look at when we look at a pattern like this, right, we can look at both sides. And I have 2 questions for you. First, how are both sides alike? How are they alike? Okay, and how are they different? How is this side different from this side? All right, so though you've made some observations, like a little bit of comparing and contrasting the 2 different sides of this symmetrical image, right? Things like the distances are the same, the angle sizes are the same, the directions are a little bit different, right? Because this is pointed that way, that's pointed the other way. All right. So to review here, a shape is symmetric, right? It has a line of symmetry if it can be folded in half along a line. So the two halves are the same size and shape, right? They will fold and match. The fold line is called the line of symmetry. Okay. And the mirror image of the design, which is what we were making here, kind of like a mirror image of the design. Here was our first design, and here was its mirror image, is the same as the original design, but it faces in a different direction. All right, so you are working today on Math Journal, page 184. It is lesson 5.12, and it's about shapes. And what you're going to try to do here is to guess what the letter is going to be for the beginning here, right? So like number one, like you're going to think, okay, what letter? This is half of a letter. Which letter is it half of? So do some predicting and then draw the other half and see if you were right. So I might say, I predict this is going to be the letter Z. I don't think that's my prediction, but I don't want to give it away. And then draw the other side to see if you were right. Down here, 5 and 6, you're going to draw the other half of the shape. The dots are there so that you can see how far away it is, right? Kind of help you with measuring. So 1, 2 dots away on this side, 1, 2 dots away on this side. So you'll want to be sure to look at those dots so you know how far away the picture is. All right. And then there's number 7, number 8. Try this. It doesn't mean try it if you want to. Yes, I do want you to try this. Okay. So you're going to try to draw this shape with 2 lines of symmetry and then continue there. Okay, so this is your job today. If you have any questions about lines of symmetry, right, and if it doesn't look perfect, don't worry too much about that, but try to get it as best as you can, okay, and show some care in your work today. All right, 4th graders, that's all for today. Good luck.